Look now at the Education Ministry, as the Ministry of Education has reiterated its caution against many things that are happening, and they are hoping that things will change and then we'll move forward in terms of changing things when it comes to education. And then also they have also stated that there are things that are going to happen to make sure that things are worked well. Right, so this is the afternoon news right here on Metro TV, and I just spoke to you about the education service and then also some of the things that are going on, especially that has to do with the examination malpractice during the ongoing 2026 Basic Education Certificate examination after reports of irregularities surfaced on the first day of the nationwide exams. And we're going to go to the video wall, and it says that our resolve to boldly address the dangerous phenomenon of examination malpractice is an affirmation of the government's firm commitment to protecting the integrity of national examinations, and any malpractice that would not be tolerated under any circumstances. Let those who think they can get away with compromising our national examination and thereby corrupt our learners to be guided by the plight of those who tried such last year. On the 40 persons caught involved in facilitating cheating last year, 8 have been convicted and sentenced, and 32 are still being processed by the appropriate entities and courts. The 8 convicted persons have automatically lost their jobs. They are unfit to be teachers and will be taken off the payroll of the Ghana Education Service, as announced by the Honorable Minister for Education. And it continues, and it says that the ministry, in collaboration with GES, WAEC, and the security agencies, has deployed strict monitoring and enforcement measures across all 2,303 examination centers. Any attempt to compromise the integrity of the 2026 BECE will attract immediate and severe sanctions. We take this opportunity to again wish the candidates the best of luck. Signed, Dr. Clement Abbas Apak, MP, Deputy Minister for Education. All right, so we're going to go to a phone-in section now, and we're being joined by phone by John Kapi, the head of public affairs of the West African Examination Council. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Thank you also very much for joining us. I'm sure you have been monitoring the conduct of the exams. What have you picked up lately?
Thanks very much, and good afternoon to your listeners. We are monitoring. First of all, let me say thank you to the numerous whistleblowers. They've done a yeoman's job, and they deserve all the commendation because they've given us a lot of information, which we have followed up, and that has led to the arrest of a number of teachers, who are in the act of helping these candidates. Most of them are invigilators. A few of them are teachers in private schools, and others are just teachers around the area who were attempting to assist their candidates in the examination hall.
All right, so let me check with you on this one. We understand that some invigilators have been apprehended. What figures are we looking at?
Well, as we speak, apart from 4, we have about 22 in total right now.
Okay.
There are only 4 of them who are not invigilators. The rest of them had a role to play in the examination. There were other invigilators, or what we picked up one supervisor who had just taken a snapshot of the question papers as she was opening them at the desk, and she was picked up by our monitors who are around there.
All right. So, why do you? What do you think? I mean, why do we keep having repeated cases of malpractices, and what is the WAEC doing about this?
Well, when it comes to malpractices, on our part, we try as much as possible to secure the papers so that they don't get into the wrong hands before it is time for the candidates to write. What we find disturbing is the partners that we have, and by our partners, I'm talking about the teachers who should be doing the supervision and invigilating the examination. They, unfortunately, are the ones who are, in the lead, if you want, in trying to provide assistance negative assistance for that matter to the candidates.
Okay.
So that is where we have a difficulty. Now, unfortunately, what we can do, for example, these 22 I'm talking about have all been handed over to the police because their acts go against the WIC Act, and so they will be processed and taken to court. Now, beyond that, the next body that should take action should be the Ghana Education Service.
Okay.
Well, these are teachers who are under the employment of the Ghana Education Service.
Okay. There have also been complaints about students writing two subjects a day, i.e. it is like overwhelming for them. Has this come to your notice, and what are the plans to review, this matter?
Well, we haven't received any formal complaint about this particular issue of writing two papers a day.
Okay.
We have heard it. Some of your colleagues in the media have asked me questions about that. Again, why does not determine these things? It is the Ghana Education Service and NACA who determine that, the candidates would be able to write two papers a day. So you'd realize that even for the timetable, it goes back and forth from us to the ministry, to the GES, and finally an agreement is arrived at that this is how it should go. So it is not a unilateral decision by the council to, as it were, compel the candidates to write two papers per day. If it happens that the GES says we want to conduct the examination over a 2-week period, and so henceforth they should write only one paper a day, we would be able to do that. The only thing would be the cost element, because then you are keeping officers for a longer time outside. You need to pay them all the allowances due them. That is the only thing that may be an inhibition, if you want, in doing this kind of thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Kapi, for talking to us concerning the BECE examination malpractices and the